Hey parents, Carmine here with your video review of The Elder Scrolls V Skyrim. If you have ever read any fantasy books like The Lord of the Rings, you have probably had the desire to live in a world with dragons, goblins, and other make-believe creatures. If you have ever wanted to wield a sword in combat, cast a spell, make a potion, or breathe fire, Skyrim is your ultimate playground. This game is massive. Instead of holding the player's hand through a set campaign, Skyrim lets the player free in over 14 square miles of space, not including the numerous dungeons, caves, and houses that can be explored. With over 200 unique quests, it took me over 100 hours to complete the game, and there were still missions I had left to do.
We should go over our strategy again in case the Stormcloaks attack.
Skyrim can be divided up into two portions. The time when the player will be talking to people, looking for objects, sleeping, trading, and doing other relatively mundane tasks, and the time when the player is in combat. For the most part, combat is pretty straightforward. The player can use a variety of weapons and spells to kill opponents. While the graphics in this game are impressive, you don't have to worry about those graphics translating into high-definition blood and gore. These are pretty minimal throughout the game. There is one real exception. As my character got better using swords and axes, I saw my character was able to perform executions. Most of these involved beheading the enemy. The problem was the same executions seemed to happen over and over again, meaning that I could execute over a dozen enemies in the span of 30 minutes with the same animation always happening. During the course of the game, the player will also have opportunities to consume different substances. Most players will end up drinking a ton of potions in order to regain health, magicka, or stamina. Many potions also boost other attributes that make abilities easier to use, but I tended to ignore almost all potions except health potions. Skyrim also includes a variety of alcoholic drinks that the player can consume. Wine and mead are the most common. However, because alcoholic drinks never had any serious benefit, they're pretty easy to avoid completely. Because of the level of violence, number of substances, and a few other factors, we gave Skyrim a recommended age of 16 years old. For the full written review, including the extra categories, log on to SideStoryGames.com.